Can you hear that? Yeah! The drums of liberation. Joy Boy is here. Luffy has tapped into his inner Nika, his inner Hotep, and my Pan-African brothers and sisters. We rejoice. Absolutely, utterly no one was ready for the insanity that is Gear 5 in the anime of One Piece for the first time. To the point where One Piece 1071 traffic was insane and sites were crashing because there was an overflow of people trying to watch the Nika madness. Allegedly, cats even had to go to salacious sites that are not rated PG-13 to watch the monkey massive Nika D Luffy. It was also number 3 trending worldwide, globally. And this is just the first episode of Gear 5 Luffy. Now, of course, I watched it and the hype was overwhelming. I must have lost 3 pounds watching Luffy go crazy. And that, for the time being, so far, is on my Patreon. Of course, later uploaded to the appropriate places. And as per usual for this video, I am going to give credit where, of course, credit is due for this episode of One Piece. Because undeniably, this was cinema. The Gear 5 transformation was cinema. Now, I'm not going to ignore the fact that there was that Hiri section in the middle of the episode, which did bog things down in terms of our enjoyment. In of itself, and I'll be honest, in of itself, even though I don't necessarily care about all the Kurozumi stuff, because that plot point for the story arc has kind of been not the strongest, not even close. In of itself, it is a good character development and character growth scene for Hiri. I won't deny that, but unfortunately, we don't care.
We don't care. We don't care.
We do not care. Our eyes are focused on Luffy's insanity. And who were the individuals that brought the insanity of chapter 1044 to life? Not in the movie Film Red, because it's in Film Red, yes, but I mean for the One Piece anime. First and foremost, the director was Tatsuya Nagamine, and the screenplay is Atsuhiro Tomoyoka. The animators are Young Tusi, Vincent Chansard, Ime, Fasto, Yen BM, Chris, Ziwei He, Run Z Wang, Now Toshi, aka Gotoshi Ishida, one of the legends, Jaki Sukiyaki, Michael Sung, Soltaro Ban, Zhang Weilin, Masayuki Sato, Takashi Kojima, J.U. or Jayu, shoutouts to Ja Wick, great film, Takahashi Tomoyuki, Hori Toranosuke, Crack Yakumo, and I'm gonna leave it there because I don't have to be going for too long. Jafar and I, we have certain deadlines to meet here.
Help me!
But nonetheless, I absolutely want to give credit to everybody, in all ways, shapes, and forms who were a part of the creation of this madness that was Gear 5 Luffy. Undeniable, right in your face. You can't dodge it, you can't avoid it. It's coming at you faster than the speed of light. Peak fiction, goated status.
The cream of the crop! Nobody does it better.
Got me sweating again. Just thinking about what happened with Gear 5 got me sweating. And one of the core reasons why I thought this episode was just so delectable, so unbelievably hype, was the music. Music makes you lose control. 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 The music and the beat and the drums of liberation are so damn dope. In a very similar way to how someone can appreciate the first Black Panther movie because of the sound effects and the music that was used in that movie that really did bring to life a lot more of the culture and the setting and the backgrounds and at times the intent of the fights. The music in that movie is so damn good, and that in of itself brings that movie to a whole new level. And in a very similar way, the music, the drums of liberation are so fitting for Luffy, and you just can't help but wiggle. You just can't help but wiggle when you listen to the drums of liberation. Wiggle. It's so damn cool. Animation, I mean, wow. Again, I'm not going to deny that there were at times Dreamcast Kaidos. CG were like, oof, I don't know. And they even used at times very clearly repeated scenes of the same Luffy jiggling, bouncing around and all that stuff. It's not like wall to wall in terms of animation quality, a 10 out of 10, where every scene is uniquely animated to the point where it's a full-scale feature film breathtaking. No, I won't say it's like that. However, when the Sakuga did hit, it was unironically well above a 10 out of 10. On so many ways, just industry-breaking stuff in terms of the animation when it really hit its stride. At the beginning and at the end, where things were popping off. Normally, the juggernauts of the Sakuga One Piece greatness come from cats like Young Touche, who did do the end of the Sanji stuff. Of course, Vincent Chansard, who was on a lot of Zoro Piece stuff. We have Henry Thurlow, who did a lot for Kid and Law when they were popping off against Big Mom, as per usual. Now Toshi Shida, the Jiggle Master.
Even easy.
When Kaido's drunk and he's feeling good, does the Ragnaroku? Yeah, I mean, that is just fantastic. But shockingly enough, even though Vincent Chansard's doing crazy Gear 5 stuff, even though now Toshi Shida has Luffy grabbing Kaido and yeeting him to the... Yo, these amazing animators did not take the gold medal. The gold medal came from a debut, I'd argue, a debut of an animator named Weilin Zhang. Weilin Zhang is the one that did, as far as I understand, the Kaido Blast Breath reflection that Luffy does. When Luffy literally loses his SHIT to the point where his eyes blast out of his skull, and you can see that Looney Tunes, you can see that backdrop behind Luffy. Luffy grabs his own eyeballs and he hurls them, he thrusts them back into his skull. He's running in the air, trying to grab the ground as soon as possible as the blast breath is coming his way, and in the process, he leaves his mouth behind. He grabs the ground after defecating an immense amount of fecal matter, hulking up, and there's a going sound effect as the blast breath hits the ground Luffy just picked up.
The definition of insanity is insanity.
It was the combination of every cartoon you could think about. Animaniacs, plus Tom and Jerry, plus old school Looney Tunes, Bugs Bunny, Yosemite Sam. What? That scene as a debut is my personal top scene out of all the heavy hitters that we have seen over the past few months. Meaning the stuff from Sanji Piece, the stuff from Zoro Piece, the stuff with Kid and Law and all that insanity. Luffy just completely going unhinged. And this beautiful mug right here is from the #2 best scene in the episode, which I thought was absolutely phenomenal, especially the sound effects. Luffy tapping into his inner Nintendo fanboy is gold. Much love for everyone who made that possible. It was unbelievable. That scene and that scene alone was like a 12 out of 10. And I'm being serious when I say that. And in that 1 minute solidified the kind of stuff we're gonna be seeing from Luffy in Gear 5. It floored me. It floored me. Oh man. Wow. And that's a debut. That's a debut. Just to be clear here, this is his One Piece debut. He's been in the industry for a while already and has already done some phenomenal work before this episode. I don't know if Wayland's Dang gonna stick around after the episode, after all the Gear 5 stuff in Wild Country. I hope they do. I hope they do, because they're gonna need him. Wow, okay, so I need to get out of here because we do have deadlines. I did see the trailer to episode 1072. Pure action between Luffy and Kaido, since it's the animation of chapter 1045. One of the few One Piece chapters I gave a flat out 10 out of 10. Like a perfect, a 10 out of 10, 11 out of 10 chapter. It was perfect. Think of Homelander. It was perfect. And of course, I must give a brief shout out to the ending. 17 years it's been since the last time we got an ending for One Piece, and that was a good ending. And hopefully come 1072, the new opening will be out in full force. So overall, people, let me know your stance on the subject matter at hand. I would say in my book, even though there was that like distinct Hiri gap, and there was again at times DS Kaido, the transformation of Luffy's Gear 5, the way the moon looked, having that scene where Too Young C has the lightning bolts going to the sky, and then Luffy by himself blows apart the clouds. And the way the moon lights up the entire environment in this mystical glow and hue. Yo, oh man. I would say that despite the Hiri section, this was an easy 9 out of 10. So I think at minimum, it is just as good as both Zoro Piece and Sanji Piece. At a minimum, despite the downtime. But let me know. Let me know your stance on the subject matter at hand, of course. If you enjoyed my video, make sure to like the video, thumbs up, subscribe to the channel by double tapping subscribe, and click on that bell to join the notification squad. I'm gonna catch you cats on the flip side, and much love once again to everyone that made Gear 5 possible.
See you. Bye bye.